The world around you, rigid and unyielding as it seems, is merely a frozen record of your past attention. It's a playback, a continuous loop of an old observation, replaying itself until your gaze dares to shift. This isn't just theory. It's the operating system of your very existence, perpetually rendering the familiar until you disrupt the projection. You've felt this loop, haven't you? That recurring pattern, the same argument, the identical financial hurdle, the mirror showing an unyielding reflection of yesterday's struggle. What you perceive as stable ground is actually the most active part of the illusion, a consequence of your own unwavering focus. Every time you engage with what is, with what you call reality, you are, in fact, feeding its continued existence. Each moment is a fresh opportunity to reset the projection, yet most choose to re-engage with the familiar. This isn't a coincidence, it's the design. The stability you cling to is the very mechanism keeping you bound, preventing the true elasticity of existence from revealing itself. The question isn't whether reality can change, but whether you can ever truly look away from its current, unceasing performance. This isn't about positive thinking. It's about the fundamental mechanics of your observation and how that observation becomes an instruction to the very fabric of reality itself. And before we dive deeper, make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell. These revelations aren't random, and if this video found you, it was meant to. Now let's begin. When you dwell on your problems, when you endlessly rehearse your past failures or define yourself by old habits, you are performing a potent act of recreation. Your attention, focused like a laser, instructs the quantum field to recollapse those exact same patterns. It's not just thinking about them, it's instructing their remanifestation. Every worry, every internal monologue about what's wrong, every complaint about what is, becomes a direct command. You are literally telling the universe, more of this, please. It's a profound, often unconscious, form of creative destruction. This isn't about blame, it's about mechanical precision. The field doesn't judge, it simply obeys the observation. Your focus acts as a magnet, drawing in the very conditions you claim to resist. You are not observing a problem. You are actively re-observing it into being. Each moment of engagement, mental or emotional, is an act of recollapsing the waveform, forcing reality to revert to its previous state. The very act of seeking to fix a problem often just strengthens its hold. You are confirming its existence, pouring your precious energetic currency into its continued manifestation. This constant recollapsing of the familiar keeps the current timeline rigid, preventing any deviation or new possibility from emerging from the quantum field. Your self-image, that deeply ingrained narrative of who you are, is anything but neutral. It's not a passive reflection, it's an active filter, a potent lens through which all incoming data is processed. This filter isn't just shaping your perception, it's collapsing the same timeline over and over with relentless precision. If you see yourself as habitually struggling, as perpetually unlucky, or as someone who always hits a certain ceiling, that self-image becomes a powerful, self-fulfilling prophecy. It instructs the universe to deliver experiences that constantly reaffirm that very identity. This isn't theory. Your self-image is the master key to your reality, creating a closed loop of confirmation. You are not experiencing random events. You are experiencing the perfectly calibrated output of your internal self-definition. Every time a new opportunity arises, your self-image subtly, or not so subtly, guides your choices, your interpretations, even your unconscious behaviors, to ensure the outcome aligns with its established pattern. It is an unseen hand, pushing you back onto the familiar path, the one that reinforces who you believe yourself to be. This creates a kind of identity gravity, pulling you back towards the familiar, no matter how much you outwardly resist. Until that self-image shifts, you are perpetually bound to its predetermined reality. The only escape is to challenge the very core of who you think you are. The subtle act of attention isn't just observation. It's a profound, silent form of consent, Every time you direct your focus, whether conscious or not, you are signaling the quantum field. Make this real again. Re-render this moment, this condition, this feeling. It's a continuous, uninterrupted instruction loop. Think of it as the ultimate cosmic yes. You are not merely witnessing events, you are, by the very act of placing your attention upon them, inviting them to persist. This constant, almost meditative permission keeps the current reality firmly anchored. What you repeatedly observe is what you are implicitly agreeing to. This isn't about judgment, it's about the mechanics of creation. The universe doesn't differentiate between desired and undesired focus. It simply responds to the directive embedded in your attention. It's why the news cycle, designed to capture and hold attention, is so effective at shaping collective reality. Your focus, fused with millions of others, solidifies a shared, often undesirable, timeline. To break this loop, you must withdraw your consent. This isn't easy because your past attention has already built pathways, grooves in your consciousness that compel your focus back to the familiar. Learning to withhold attention from the old is the precise art of quantum shifting, signaling the universe to finally stop re-rendering the same outdated reality. Reality doesn't repeat, you do. The external world, in its deepest truth, is fluid, endlessly malleable. It's your internal state, your emotional patterns, your mental constructs, your ingrained perceptual filters that relentlessly tells reality what to simulate, what to solidify. You are not a passive recipient, you are the active programmer. Every time you react in the same way, think the same thought, or feel the same emotion in response to a recurring trigger, you are issuing a fresh command. You are instructing reality to present you with the very trigger, the very circumstance, once more. It's a self-perpetuating cycle powered by your consistent state. Consider the person who repeatedly finds themselves in similar dysfunctional relationships. It's not that identical bad partners keep appearing, it's that their emotional and relational blueprint, their internal state, keeps attracting and then recollapsing the same relational dynamics. This isn't about blame. It's about recognizing the profound power you wield, often unconsciously. Your internal world is the template. What you call external reality is merely its projected image, continuously refreshed by your patterned inner reactions. Until you alter the internal instruction, the external output will remain stubbornly consistent. The external world is a loyal mirror, perpetually reflecting the story you tell yourself through your state. Memory isn't about preserving the past. It's a powerful, often deceptive tool for predicting the future. Every time you recall an event, every time you relive a past emotion or re-examine an old failure, you're not just remembering. You're creating a template, a probability channel, for its future reoccurrence. This recycled memory becomes timeline density, a heavy anchor preventing any new, unscripted reality from emerging. Your brain uses these remembered patterns to anticipate and then generate your next moment. If your past is filled with struggle and limitation, your memory systems are diligently working to reproduce that familiar rhythm, making it the most probable future. This isn't about forgetting the past, but understanding its active role in shaping the present. The comfortable grooves of remembered experience become deep channels, trapping your potential within familiar boundaries. This creates a kind of perceptual inertia. The more you dwell in the narratives of what has been, the harder it becomes for your awareness to perceive, let alone choose, an entirely different path. You become a prisoner of your own predictive power. The path to a new reality requires a conscious refusal to re-render the past. It demands that you loosen memory's grip to allow for a future that is not merely an echo, but an entirely unwritten symphony. The reticular activating system, your internal spotlight, works tirelessly with subconscious expectations to filter and deliver exactly what you expect to see. It's not an objective observer. It's a loyalty program, ensuring you only perceive what aligns with your ingrained beliefs and intentions. This hidden gatekeeper decides what information even reaches your conscious mind, effectively creating your personal reality tunnel. Think of it, if you believe opportunities are scarce, your RAS will literally dim your awareness to them, making them invisible. Conversely, if you expect abundance, your RAS will highlight every potential opening, making them leap into view. This isn't coincidence, it's precise, neurological filtering. Your subconscious expectations act as master directives. They've been built over years through repeated experiences, learned behaviors, and absorbed beliefs. They operate beneath the surface, silently directing what you're allowed to even notice in your external environment. This means you are not lacking opportunities, you are often simply not perceiving them because your internal systems are trained to filter them out. The world isn't withholding from you, your own filters are. Changing your reality isn't about forcing new things to happen. It's about recalibrating these subconscious filters, allowing your perception to open up to the possibilities that have always been there, just beyond your current expected frame. There's a strange, almost unsettling silence that settles in the gap between an observer shift and the full update of reality. It's a quantum lag, a phase where the old has begun to dissolve, but the new hasn't yet fully solidified. Think of it as the calibration period, where the system is re-rendering. This is precisely where many abandon their shift, just before the full, undeniable collapse completes. During this uncanny valley, the old reality might flicker, presenting echoes of its past self or a sudden surge of doubt. The temptation is immense to revert to the familiar, to reinvest attention in the known, even if that known is undesirable. This is the ultimate test of your resolve. Your mind, accustomed to immediate feedback, struggles with this void. It seeks certainty, and in its absence, it will often try to re-establish the old, comfortable patterns, pulling you back to what was. This period feels like nothing is happening, or worse, like things are getting worse. This lag isn't a sign of failure, it's proof of profound change underway. It's the quantum field responding, disentangling the old waveforms and knitting together the new. Success during this phase requires unwavering non-observation of the dissolving past and sustained, quiet knowing of the still invisible future. Those who push through this uncertain space are the ones who witness true, undeniable transformations. The gap isn't empty, it's pregnant with unrendered possibility, waiting for your continued, patient observation. Paradoxes are not flaws in reality, they are its fundamental operating instructions, especially for collapsing new outcomes. Wanting without needing, acting as if it's already done, cultivating a feeling of detached joy. These seemingly contradictory states overwhelm the old, linear script of your reality. They introduce a disruptive force, short-circuiting the old pathways and forcing new branches of possibility to emerge from the quantum field. When you want something but don't need it for your happiness or validity, you remove the desperate, energetic cling that often repels what you desire. This paradox frees the outcome, allowing it to manifest without the resistance of attachment. Acting as if it's already done, even when every external signal contradicts it, collapses the space between current reality and desired outcome. This isn't pretending, it's a deep, knowing alignment with a future self who already possesses what you seek. These paradoxical states bypass the rational mind's limitations, which are hardwired to linear, cause and effect reasoning. They speak directly to the quantum field, bypassing the logic gates that keep the old reality in place. Embracing these paradoxes feels counterintuitive, even illogical. It asks you to hold two seemingly contradictory truths simultaneously. But it's precisely this tension, this cognitive dissonance, that creates the energetic pressure for a new reality to literally snap into being, overriding the program of the past. Symbols, repeating numbers, and unexpected synchronicities are not just random occurrences. They are access points, fleeting glimpses into the underlying architecture of reality, thresholds between the currently rendered outcomes and a vast ocean of unseen potentials. They are the universe winking, offering a momentary break in the code, a chance to step outside the loop. These aren't messages to be deciphered in a literal sense. Rather, they function as confirmation signals, an energetic yes, that you are aligning with a deeper truth, that your observation is beginning to destabilize the old script. They affirm that you are on the right track, even if the external world hasn't fully caught up. When you see a repeating number sequence, it's not magic. It's a subtle nudge, reminding your awareness that perception is more elastic than you imagine, that there are other frequencies available. It's a momentary glimpse behind the curtain of consensus reality. These synchronicities are invitations, not demands. They ask you to pause, to notice the subtle fabric of reality, and to question what you thought was fixed. They are quiet whispers that another version of reality is just a shift in observation away. To ignore them is to ignore the subtle cues from the field itself, hints that the walls of your current reality are not as solid as they appear. They are the cracks through which unrendered possibilities are already seeping. To truly break the cycle, you must introduce specific, conscious shifts into your immediate reactions. Instead of reacting with old patterns, the usual frustration, the familiar doubt, the immediate search for a problem to solve, cultivate silence. Allow for a pause. This brief, intentional space is where the old timeline momentarily loses its footing, where the regeneration of the familiar is interrupted. For example, when you feel the familiar urge to respond with anger, choose a moment of silence instead. When a problem arises, resist the ingrained habit of immediately analyzing and fixing. Instead, pause. This isn't inaction. It's a deliberate withholding of your energetic input into the old, reactive program. This pause creates a crucial vacuum, a moment where the quantum field is no longer receiving the instruction to re-render the familiar. It's an act of non-consent to the past repeating itself. It feels counterintuitive because your mind is trained to solve, to react, to engage. But solving an old problem with old patterns only reinforces the problem. The real shift happens when you refuse to participate in its recreation. These tiny, deliberate moments of silence, of non-reaction, are powerful disruptions. They are the micro-fractures in your current reality, the precise points where a new, unscripted timeline can begin to emerge, simply because you withheld the familiar instruction. Manifestation isn't about wishing for something. It's an act of observation from the state of your post-shift self. It means acting, feeling, and perceiving your current world from the perspective of the version of you who has already achieved, already possesses, already is what you desire. You are literally observing from the already rendered reality, rather than looking towards it from a place of lack. This is a fundamental inversion of conventional thinking. You don't try to get something to manifest for you. You become the observer who is already in that manifested state, and your reality then coheres around that stable observation. Imagine your desired outcome is already fully realized. What would that version of you be thinking, feeling, saying, and doing right now? The act of manifestation is to embody that observation, not just mentally, but emotionally and physically in your present moment. This isn't about faking it. It's about knowing, with unwavering certainty, that the desired reality exists. Your role is not to bring it here, but to align your observation with its existence. The external world then becomes a mirror, obligated to reflect your internal observational state. This makes manifestation less about effort and more about alignment. It's about maintaining a consistent internal signal, an unwavering observation from the destination, allowing the external world to catch up to your chosen reality. Reality changes only when you master the art of withholding your observation from the old and consciously turn your attention, your full, undivided focus to the unrendered, the unseen, the utterly new. Every glance back at the past, every re-engagement with the problem, is a vote for its continued existence. It's an energetic refusal of the new possibilities that are always hovering, waiting for your validating gaze. What you nourish with your attention grows. What you starve of it withers and releases its grip. This is not about denial, It's about strategic redirection of your generative power. Your attention is the ultimate currency of creation. The hardest part is that the old reality, being familiar, often demands your engagement. It's loud, persistent, and has conditioned you to respond. But true quantum shift occurs in the quiet, often uncomfortable act of non-engagement with the past's persistent echoes. This means consciously choosing to disinvest your emotional and mental energy from what you no longer wish to experience. It means allowing the old to dissolve without the comfort of seeing the new fully formed yet. Your ultimate freedom lies not in changing things, but in changing where you look. The universe exists in a state of infinite potential, always waiting for your conscious observation to collapse it into form. The only question now is, what have you been trained not to see, and are you finally ready to look? Make sure to subscribe for more videos and hit that notification bell so you never miss a new video. We'll see you in the next one.